It's a beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back. Why? Because you know it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I'm the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. Welcome. Happy Monday. Happy Labor Day. And the start to a new week. Hopefully you all had the day off. We're able to chill, relax, enjoy it with your family. I was a little bit, although I was working most of the day because I'm sick like that and I work like 7 days a week. But hopefully everybody else got to sit and chill and relax and enjoy their day off a little more than I did. So, as George mentioned it, biggest news popping up today, sea bass. Now, as we go every Monday and Wednesday on Raider Reaction, we drop back deep in the pocket and let it fly league-wide. Now, because it is Labor Day and, you know, not everybody's is, you know, dedicates their time as much as me, and others have other things going on with their families and whatnot. So I'm going to do some of the other team members weren't available tonight, so I wanted to do a solo edition. And I'm not going to be on tomorrow for my typical Raider Nation report, so due to some personal scheduling conflicts. You know, personal scheduling conflicts like taking my teenage daughter to go see Green Day. Those kind of scheduling conflicts. Yeah. So, I apologize. There will be no Raider Reaction tomorrow, but I will be rocking out. So, tonight, you're going to get Ghost to the Post, your Raider Nation report, all wrapped up in one. And I may even go just a hair long if I need to get in what I need to get in. Because there is a lot of league news that I want to touch on, but there is also a lot of Raider news, as George mentioned. So, first news topic that we need to touch on is sea bass. Approached about restructuring his contract. He's posed to make a little more than $4 million a year, and trying to cut that back. Now there's talks. Now I heard crazy talks, like crazy stories, like if they don't get this hashed out, they may end up going with another kicker. I think that's a little bit far and a little bit of a stretch of the situation. I can see maybe some concern and some talks need to be had, and but it's unfortunate that we are right here before the season and we're having these conversations with the greatest kicker that we've ever had in the franchise. I don't know if it's not really clickbait, Raider Natalie. It's not really clickbait. It is. They did go to him to restructure his contract. He is poised to make a little over $4 million. That's why there was talks earlier in the offseason. There was rumors floating around only because of the amount of money that Seabass is scheduled to make this year, which just over $1 million is the league average for a kicker. So he is getting paid a considerable amount more than the league average. But we all saw how awesome Giorgio Treviso was in the freaking preseason. So, which is why he's on the cut list. He was hot garbage. He was missing way too many. Missing way too many. I believe even an extra point or two. What's up, King? Working on 3 kickers. Interesting. What's up, NorCal? What's up, everybody? All my normal band of pirates. Thank you for joining me on a special Labor Day solo edition of Ghost to the Post. Gonna get a little Raider Nation report mashed up with a little Ghost to the Post. All Commish tonight. All Commish. So everybody else is taking the night off, enjoying it with their family. Prime is home chilling. So I'm gonna drive this ship tonight. If you think about it, what does Tony got to say here? Interesting. See, there's a lot of different ways to look at the Seabass thing. It's just, you know, when you're talking about a guy who's a legend like that, you kind of hope they deal with him and approach him a little differently than they would a normal or a regular player on the team. Kind of like, you know, how they handle Charles Woodson when he on his way out. You know, you just handle these guys a little differently because they're legends, and a Raider legend at that. So. I understand he's not happy about being asked to restructure his deal. Hopefully, it is the final season of his deal, and we'll see. If he's still on the roster at 4 o'clock Tuesday, he is guaranteed $238,000, which is 1/17 of his salary. If he remains on the roster as of 4 p.m. Saturday, his deal will become guaranteed for the season. So, there will be a decision made one way or another before this week is up. So there's your two deadlines. By 4 o'clock tomorrow, this is Eastern Time, 4 o'clock tomorrow, if he's still on roster, we owe him $238,000, which is the 17th of his salary. Now, if he remains on roster till 4 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday, his deal is guaranteed for the season, which means he's probably staying. So if there's a move that's going to be made, it's going to be made soon, and it's not going to be. This isn't going to be some rumor mill thing that's going to roll on for days and days. It'll happen. It'll happen quick. Because if they're thinking of cutting him, they're not going to hand over $238,000 just so they have a few more days to think about it. So if they're gonna cut bait, it's going to happen tomorrow. If they cannot come to an agreement, it'll happen tomorrow. Because why would they give away $238,000? $238,000 for nothing, just for a few more days to think about it. If they've already made up their mind and they're going to cut him, then we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talks between now and tomorrow, and hopefully Seabass remains a Raider. We don't want to see Seabass going nowhere. Yes, for those tuning in, Seabass was approached about restructuring his contract for this season. He's slated to make just over $4 million this year on the last deal of his contract, and he was not interested in talking about restructuring his deal. So, I don't want to see another kicker kicking for us this season. I got a feeling this is the season, man. This is the season we've all been waiting for, and this is the return to greatness season. And Seabass needs to be the kicker for that season. There's no ifs, ands, or freaking buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Seabass needs to be the kicker for this season. So, hopefully we can get that taken care of and get that moving forward. So, obviously the biggest news of the weekend was roster cuts. 4 o'clock on Saturday, everybody had to have their rosters down to 53 from the 90. Just one big cut this year. One big cut, not like previous seasons where it whittled down over the entire preseason, which I like. It gives each player an opportunity to at least have the entire preseason to show your wares, to show what you've got, to show what you bring to the table. Because if you only get the chance to only get like a play or two in one freaking preseason game, I mean, you didn't really get to show your wares. You didn't get to show it. So, I like the new rule, but man, that's a lot of people getting put out of work all at one time. Bam! 30 plus on every team. Unemployed. Unemployed on Saturday. Freaking Black Saturday. Freaking chopping heads everywhere. Now, as you look through the notables on the 2017 Raiders roster cut list, George Atkinson III we'll roll through these alphabetical. George Atkinson the third, running back. Obviously had the big game, but it's a numbers thing. And I said it right. I said it during the broadcast when we were watching the game. He's having a great game, but it's a numbers thing. He's never going to make the roster. So, yeah, I was right there. That's not really one I wanted to be right on. It's only a numbers thing, Travis. It comes down to numbers. We just had, look who we kept. We kept Marshawn Lynch, we kept Jalen Richard, and we kept Andre Washington. All three guys that we knew we were going to keep. We didn't even keep Elijah Hood, who everybody thought we were going to keep Elijah Hood. Even I thought he was the fourth, that we were going to keep 4. No, we only kept 3. Only kept 3. Now, Breon Borders was a corner that some thought may make the cut. Didn't end up making it. And he got burnt there in the last game, too. KJ Brent was another one, wide receiver. He's one thought might make it. Pharaoh Brown, Shalik Calhoun, draft pick from last year. He's dead wood now. He got cut. John Crockett, the running back that we brought over to try out, cut. Najee Harris, the linebacker I was rooting for, was the feel good story, the little school Wagner. It was a walk on. Yeah, he didn't end up making it. So much for that 3-year deal. He got cut. Now Elijah Hood was, we thought he was going to be the future. Now, rumor is I've heard that maybe they're hoping he can circle back around. Nobody claims him off waivers, and they can bring him over on the practice squad. So I don't think they necessarily, they're kind of gambling with him and hoping they can get him back, but I really thought we were going to carry 4 at running back. Really thought we were going to carry 4 at running back. That was one of the shockers to me, which we're going to roll through the roster and who's left here in a minute. I just want to touch on some of the key guys that, the ones that kind of made you raise your eyebrows when you seen they was on the roster list. Like, damn, really? We cut him? Now, here was one. Now, I said when we signed this guy, I don't like a shop at Dollar Tree for linebackers. When we signed Jelani Jenkins, he was beat up. He was injured a lot. He hadn't hardly played a full season in numerous seasons. And his stats weren't that good. He's not a sack. He doesn't get a lot of sacks. I think he only had like 2.5 or something. It was a really, really low number. And I wasn't sold on him. What's up, Lance? I wasn't sold on him. So, cutting him, cutting Rufus Johnson, and then cutting LaTroy Lewis, who was one of the guys I was highest on. Exactly, NorCal. We were thinking the same thing. See? We got it like that. But it's... all I did was mention this guy's name every freaking game I was calling for the preseason. And every... The guy's scoring touchdowns on defense. He's getting multiple sacks in the game. He's getting sacks in multiple games. And then he goes and gets scooped up by the #1 defense in the league. The team that beat us out in the playoffs last season. Fabulous. Fabulous. So, I hope LaTroy Lewis isn't one of the ones that come back to bite us later. What's up, Hot Neil? So, it was interesting. All the linebackers that we dropped was very interesting. That means, obviously, we're going to go out and pick up a veteran, but that's a gamble, man. You're just going out and you're picking up a guy off the streets. Yeah, they're a veteran. They kind of know, they do what they do. But you're plugging them in. They don't know your scheme. They don't know your calls, and I don't like it. I'd rather seen somebody go through the camp and be in that position, but maybe we're gonna bring back Perry Riley Jr. in the freaking 12th hour, bring him back and bring back just some guy who's a freaking missile. There's a lot out there. It just depends on what they're looking for. And we're going to roll through the big names that got cut by the other teams as well. So we're going to touch on all the league stuff tonight, as we are still doing. Goes to the post and dropping back deep in the pocket. Letting it fly league-wide, as we do every Monday and Wednesday on RAIDER ReACTION. Just doing it solo tonight for a little Labor Day special. Now, Jaden Mickens, wide receiver. There was one who we thought possibility of making it. Giorgio Treviso, like I said, the kicker. Too many misses, man. Too many misses in preseason. And one that made me smile, because I did not want to see this guy. The disgusting video of him beating his dog, you know, before they came out before the draft. I was disgusted that we even drafted this guy, and he ended up on the team, and I'm glad we cut him. Ishmael Zamora. That's the last time I ever have to say your name. So, you've been cut too, dog beater. So what's that leave us with? Start with the offense. Obviously, we kept the three quarterbacks, Carr, Cook, and E.J. Manuel. It's looking like E.J. may be the two. As much as I kept saying, excuse me, as much as I kept saying that I thought Cook was going to do enough to win it, I think E.J. just did just enough to take it from him and steal it out from under him. So I think you're going to see E.J. Manuel starting out at the 2. Now, the other thing that was shocking to me, like I mentioned earlier, was that we only went with 3 running backs. Marshawn Lynch, Jalen Richard, and DeAndre Washington. Now, I knew those were going to be the top 3. That was not a... Why keep 3 quarterbacks? Alex, did you not remember what happened last season? Why keep 3 quarterbacks? Because you need... one is not enough. If one guy goes down, and you got to have 2 coached up, ready to go. Now, that third may carry a clipboard and a headset the entire time. But you have to have them in case of emergency. What happened last season? What happened last season? Carr goes down. It won't happen again, but you still have to prepare for it. You have to always prepare.